Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another Tiny Tidy. For today's Tiny Tidy, I am going to do another around the house declutter because as I've been just going about my daily business, about my daily life, and as I've been decluttering, I've also been coming across things that kind of getting that idea that maybe I'm ready to let it go. So I have a few things in my little niggles box. That's the box I put things in when I get that little niggle in my brain that says I don't need that anymore. So I'll pop it in the box and then eventually let it go. So I have a couple things in there, and I also have some things down in the basement that I know out there in my brain up here that I know I want to let go of. A couple of they're too big to put in my little niggles box, and so I just left them where they are, but I'm ready to let them go. And so I'm gonna go around my house and spend maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I'm gonna get those things and then maybe peek in a few drawers and other places around the house and see if there's anything else that I'm ready to let go of, and then I'll come back here and I'll show you what I'm decluttering from my home today. So if you have anything that you want to tidy up around your house, or if you want to go around your house and grab some things to declutter, just come along. We'll do it together. I'll meet you back here, and after you get finished watching my video, make sure you check out the playlist. I'll have that link in the description box below, and I'll also have a link to Sunday Dawn's channel, The Hopeful Home. She is the host of Tiny Tidy Tuesdays every week, and so let's get started. I'm gonna go find my things. If you're gonna do an around the house declutter, you can do that with me, and then if you're gonna do a Tiny Tidy, just grab your stuff and we'll do it all together. Okay guys, I'm back with all of my stuff. So if you went around your house and you gathered some things that you want to declutter today, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you let go of. And if you are just doing a Tiny Tidy or just watching, let me know about that too. I always love to hear from you guys. Now I'm going to show you what I found when I went around my house. I'll start with this because I always like to give a little reminder to throw out the packaging. I filled up the soap dispensers the other day, and this one, it's still got a little bit left in it. I can probably get out of there. But I had it upside down so that the soap would drain down, and so I went ahead and used the last of the soap. I put it into the dispenser, and see, there's some more in there that I can get out. But anyway, so I went ahead and did that. So now I can go ahead and let go of this packaging. So don't keep these around. Go ahead and toss them, recycle them, whatever you do in your area. And I also, I'll show you this too. On the Buy Nothing group around where I live, there's a lady who, for like therapy or something, it calms her to do flower arrangements, and so she does these beautiful flower arrangements, and then she gives them to people. And so you just sign up and you're on her list. And this, I got this one a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, but it's lasted very well. All of the vases are from people on the Buy Nothing site, so she didn't have to buy any vases. And so the flowers are starting to die a little. Well, I guess they're already starting to do that. But anyway, they're starting to get a little shrivelly, and there's a few that are still good in here. So I'm going to take the ones out that are shriveling up, and in a day or two, I'm sure, a couple days or so, it's going to be time to toss the flowers. And so what I'm going to do is ask her if she wants this vase back, so that when she does her flower arrangements, she can pass it on to someone else, because I don't need to keep this vase. I don't really buy flowers or get flowers a lot around here, and so I don't need to keep a vase, and especially one this big. But I got to enjoy these beautiful flowers, and now I'm going to, when the flowers are done, I'm going to pass the vase along. And so if she wants it back so she can reuse it, then I would be very happy to return it to her. So that is going to be leaving pretty soon, I'm sure. The other thing that I have is some stuff in my little niggles box. You can see there, my little niggles box. And that is the box, like I said, that I put things in when I come across them and get that little niggle in my brain that, you know, I don't think I want to keep that anymore. So one thing that I tossed in here just because it was close by was another thing I like to just remind us about when I do these is if you've got papers or mail or anything like that just laying and you don't need them anymore, go ahead and toss them, shred them, put them in the recycle bin, whatever, and let those go too. And that way it keeps you from getting so many things piling up. These are papers from when I was scribbling, writing my poems. And so these can go now. I don't need them anymore. I put them into my computer. And also, I have this little basket that I'm going to let go of. It's just a cheap one from the dollar store, and it's broken. And so I don't need to keep it. I've got plenty of little baskets, and I don't need to keep a broken one. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Another thing that I am going to let go of is this book. I've been so busy with decluttering that I'm not going to lie, it took me probably 2 or 3 months to read this book. I just don't have time for reading right now, even though I have books that I do want to read. But I did want to read it, and so every time I got a chance, I would read a little at a time. I'm not a really, really fast reader. I'm not a speed reader, even though I have all those books. But I finally finished it, and I started reading that one. If you saw my declutter of my Halloween and seasonal books, there was a book in there called Boo. Well, I'm reading that one. I think I'm up to chapter 3, so I'm not very far along in it yet. But anyway, it's time to let this one go. I'm going to pass it along to someone else. This is Janet Ivanovich, and she actually writes the Stephanie Plum series, and she does have a new one for that series coming out in November, but this is a different, I don't know if this is a series. I guess it's a series. I don't know, but anyway, I enjoyed it. So I'm going to let that go to someone new. Someone else can enjoy it. And then you may remember the Play-Doh Tupperware. I had Play-Doh in here for, let's see, 20-something years. So probably close to 25 years. I had some Play-Doh in here. And it actually was still a little bit soft. And I kind of kept it as an experiment just because when I found it, I had forgotten about it. And when I came across it, it had been around for a few years and it was still soft. And so I was just curious because I used to sell Tupperware and I was very curious as to how long it would last. Well, I hadn't found it. I mean, I hadn't peeked in it again. I knew I had it, but I didn't really know where it was. So I hadn't peeked into it again. And so now I decided it was time to just end the experiment and let it go. And so I'm going to let this Tupperware piece go as well. So that's going to go. And then hubby gets his ice cream. He gets them, and they come with these little plastic lids. And we've used these for many things. I've used them for paint trays. I've used them for coasters. I use them for all sorts of things. But I have more than I need. And so I stuck a few in this little niggles box one day. I know I have more that I can let go of, but anyway, here's 4 more I'm going to let go of. I'm going to keep the little niggles box though because I'll be using it again. What else do I have? Oh, when I cleared the stuff out of the gentleman's hutch because I'm working on putting a new floor in my family room, which is where I'm at right now. The gentleman's hutch is actually right there. It's very heavy, and so we didn't move it to the other room. But anyway, I found some towels and rags in there. And I had actually been going to keep them for a crafty project that I was going to do. But I'm not going to do it. I decided I'm not going to do it, and so I'm just going to let all of these go. Some of them have never even been, probably, maybe all of them. None of them might have ever been used, actually, as rags. So time for them to go. And this is a cross stitch that I did many years ago. Let's see, it's dated. Let me see if I can see. It's dated for 1989. So I did this many years ago, and I used to have it hanging in my other home before we moved here, and I had it hanging here too, but it doesn't really fit in anywhere. And so I've decided that just like we do with pictures sometimes now, rather than leaving them in the frames, we take them out of the frames and just put them in a photo album or a photo box or even digital. Well, I'm going to take the cross stitch out of here and put it in the bin that I have with other cross stitches that I made. And actually somebody suggested that there's some kind of a artist's type book type thing that you can get, and you can put your, maybe I could put my cross stitch pieces in there, so it would be kind of like a scrapbook of my cross stitches. So I may actually do that once I'm finished with my decluttering, but for now I'm going to take this out of the frame, put the cross stitch in with my stuff, and I'm just going to let the frame and the matting go because I don't need it and I'm not going to hang it. So I'm just going to do that. And this is actually some fabric that I had in the basement in this roll. I'm just going to let that go too. I'm not going to use it. And I have this. This is actually two. I need to cut them in half because I can let them go separately. But these are those little blanket things that you just hem around them and you can make a blanket, or you can do that thing where you clip and tie. And so I think somebody might enjoy those. They can make them for a Christmas present or something. That's what I was planning to do, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I've had them for years. In fact, I think I bought those when we lived at our other house, and that was 14 years ago, so it was more than that. And then I also have this one, and this one is got the ribbon thing, I think, yeah, the breast cancer research, and October, isn't that the month for that? So I think that's very a good thing I can let go of now, and perhaps somebody can actually make that for someone and gift it to them. So I'm going to gift that away. And let's see what else we have up. Also, since I'm not going to do those, I'm not going to do a lot of the other projects either. I kept a little bit of fabric when I went through my fabric downstairs, because I had 3 big cabinets full of fabric, and I had been letting go of it a little at a time. And recently, in one of my basement declutters, I let go of a bunch more. But I kept a whole big, deep shelf full. So I'm not going to use this, and I'm not going to use these. And I'm not going to use these. And I'm not going to use any of these. So I only kept a little bit down there. I mean, not very much at all now. It's down there left. And if I don't end up using that, I'll declutter it too. But I kept just a few. But the rest of this, I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to let it go. I wasn't sure, and that's why I kept them. Because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll want to do this little project. But I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. So time to let them go. And I have one more thing here. Can't forget this. So for all of you who saw the video where I was decluttering and I found this in a great big box down there in my basement, and I asked you, should I keep this or let it go? There was one person, I think, that said keep it, or had suggestions for how I might use it. But the thing is, one, I don't cook a lot. And I'm not going to want to clean it, if I did cook with it. So I was really happy, honestly, that everybody said, no, you don't have to keep that. Because being a person who's not really a cook, I didn't know if this was like something that most people have with their oven. But apparently this is not, apparently it just was an extra freebie that I got when we bought our oven. But if you want one of these, you have to pay a lot of money for it. So it was just kind of wasted on us because we don't do that kind of cooking. I have made steak and stuff, but not like that. And I know this probably freak people out, but I've been known to do that in the microwave because I know how to use my microwave. I don't know how to, I mean, I'm not really, I don't know. Hubby doesn't eat that stuff, and I don't like the mess it makes. So anyway, that's beside the point. But anyway, that's what I got for decluttering from my home today. I'll put it all out, maybe on the table or something, so you guys can see just how much stuff it was all in one pile. But again, let me know in the comments if you did an around the house declutter along with me, or if you did some sort of a tidy up along with me. I'd love to hear all about it. And for now, I'm going to say goodbye and happy decluttering. And here's a look at all of the stuff gathered together in one space. It's on our old kitchen table, so you can see how much area it takes up. All that stuff is leaving our home. Maybe I'll use it, and maybe I won't. Part of me wants to, and part of me don't. I know I won't miss it, 'cause I never do, and I'm always relieved when the waiting is through. So why do I keep them when I already know that soon I'll be ready to let them all go, to gather them up and toss them all out, all of the maybes I've maybeed about. It was supposed to rain today, but I just checked the weather and it's not going to rain. It's already 2:30 and it's pretty breezy, but I decided to just go ahead and bring some of this stuff out here and give it a shot. It's a Thursday. I don't know if any of this will get taken, but it's worth a try. I'm not even going to bother bringing out the sign and all of that. I'm just going to let it be what it is. It's going to get dark shortly anyway, so we'll see if any of it gets taken today. And I added this bag of stuff to the driveway giveaway for today. Somebody wanted this stuff from another driveway giveaway that I had from the Buy Nothing site. They asked me to keep it for them, but it's been a while. They haven't picked it up. They're not responding to my question, do they still want it? So I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I'm just going to leave it in the bag as it is, and hopefully somebody will take the whole bag. Well, it looks like a few things did get taken today. Not sure what all, but there's lots of empty spaces here, so that means things got taken. Ooh, and look, almost all of the fabric got taken. That's awesome, because sometimes it is hard to find, you know, for the right people to come by and get the fabric, so sometimes it can take a few tries, so that's amazing. I'm going to call this one a success. Yay! There were a couple things that I took out of the Little Blue, my Buy Nothing extra freebies bin. I put that back in there, but this is all I have left that I need to store in my garage until the next time. There's my bubby. Did you get your tiny tidy done? Did you get your tiny tidy done today?